Good morning, guys. Okay, so client magnetism masterclass. While we're waiting for people to hop on, I this morning woke up and I'm like, what should I talk about? I'm so not going to talk about traditional like ideal client avatar stuff. If you want to learn about like the technical strategy of identifying your ideal client, I'm going to give you a module from a different workshop I've done, and you can go check that out. But I was really inspired this morning to create just a topic for us to talk about, which is the act and the like how to draw people to you, because I was thinking about the term client magnet and it's like so fucking overused. And really when people say client magnet, they're referring to like sales and marketing strategies that are supposed to get you leads and ideal clients. But what I've experienced in my business and in my life is that when I am becoming the person who I know like has all these clients and owns her power and is making all these big moves in my life, and I'm expressing that in my content, that's when people literally are magnetized to me. So we're going to talk more today about the embodiment of being a client magnet and how to create that in your own life. So I'm pretty excited about that, because who wanted to talk about ideal client boring avatar shit? Not me. So you can go check that out at another time. If you're here, say hi. Good morning. Bring your coffee. It's 10 a.m. I'm still somewhat waking up because I stayed up late looking at houses last night. That's what I'm doing all day today. So I think Angela's here, Danielle's here. So just say hi. Hi. And I also wanted to make this live stream an opportunity for you guys to share what's been going on for you in your businesses. Whether or not it has to do with ideal clients, totally up to you. But yeah, my vision for this challenge is that it's a container. It's a place for everyone, not just to like get their ass kicked by me, but there's so many people here who have something to give to you, who have experiences and ideas for you. So the more you interact, the more you're going to get out of this, the more accountable you'll be, because when you see yourself not showing up, other people see it too, and it's a great way to stay accountable. That's something I've experienced in my own like leadership program that I'm in, is that when I am my word and when I am showing up for other people, like I start to show up for my own self in my own life. And I'm so committed to keeping my word about everything that I do and everything that I say. So I want you guys to really think about the fact that like, I told you guys to do a live stream introduction and one person did that. So where is it showing up in your life where you are like not actually looking at what needs to be done? Or because there's like a reason why I told you to do a live stream introduction, right? It's uncomfortable. That's the reason. So if you can't get like yourself on board with doing a live stream in a safe like space, like private Facebook group, then how are you going to get uncomfortable enough to create $15,000 in 15 days? Right? Like how are you going to follow the instructions I give you about like what to do to sell if you can't read like one thing that I wrote about doing a live stream? So you guys wanted your ass kicked, here you go. So if you haven't done a live stream introduction, you need to. And it's not because I'm here to like be like some crazy like, you know, like chop leader. Like I am here to help you become the best version of yourselves. So just go do it. Okay. Good morning, Teen. Is it Tyne or Teen? I so appreciate you. Yeah. So Danielle, then where can you go do it? Some other place or some other time, right? So like that's something that I've had to become accountable to, especially with like the volunteer work and leadership work that I'm doing. It's like when I say that I didn't do something like for my broader group, because we have an entire group of people in this program, they ask me why. They're like, why? And I'm like, oh, well, you know, I couldn't do that today because I was going to look at houses. And they were like, well, why didn't you schedule it? Like, what was more important to you? And I'm like, it's a fucking like, I don't know, let's say that I said I was going to send them something at 2 p.m. I'm like, oh, it's just like one Word document. And they're like, yeah, but where is that showing up for you in other areas? Like there's always an excuse, and sometimes there's good excuses. So yeah, think about that, because how we act in one area is how we act in all areas. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm trying to be like the most committed, like respected, responsible leader in my life and in my business. And that includes like for myself. So I want to, when I say I'm going to do something, when I say I'm going to create $15,000 in 15 days, that's what I want to fucking do. So I have to keep my word in all areas, for the small things that seem super trivial and for the big things. And it's a totally different way of living. It's like uncomfortable for me because I'm like, oh, it's just like one Word document at 2 p.m. Like, you'll be fine. It's like, no, because eventually that's going to show up in my business. I'm like, well, I didn't sell today because I couldn't get on my live stream because my daughter was sleeping. Okay, we'll go outside then. I don't know. You know, like, so that's how, like, the way that we're acting can show up in this challenge, and not just in this challenge, but like in your entire life. So, hey guys, hi, everybody is here. Cool. So yeah, take a look at, if you haven't done a live stream in this group and you didn't even read the instructions, like some people I know, it's very possible that they just sign up for this challenge and they're not going to do anything with it. They haven't interacted at all. They're going to want to sit in the back and like be a little wallflower and just observe. Totally get it, because sometimes I do that. Actually, a lot of the times I've done that in the past. And what I want to ask you is, does a leader, somebody that is magnetizing people to them, like just hide in the background? No, they don't do that. Regardless of whether or not it's your group or it's your Instagram or it's this like Facebook group, like challenge container, like, well, if you can't lead people in this area, then why would you be able to lead someone in your own group? Right? Because maybe you're thinking like, oh, well, then because I'm selling stuff in my group, so then it matters if I show up. Again, how you show up in one area is how you show up in all areas. Can you show up for the other women in this challenge? Okay, then introduce yourself. Then like set the example. Introduce yourself. Like share with us what your skills are and how you can help other people here too. A quote that's really inspired me lately that I know like every one of you guys probably saw, because it's on the sales pages. Whatever you want to create within yourself, you create for other people. So that includes starting now here in this challenge. So you guys signed up for ass kicking, and here we go. So who else is watching? If you haven't introduced yourself in the group yet, just give me a background, say hello here in the comments. Tell us what you do, because I think there's a lot of different people here. Photographer, I think there's like a love and sex coach. Danielle, I'm not really sure what you do, because I think you were saying you had like a course for VAs, but then you wrote a book on relationships. So maybe that's something that will help you too, is like, what can you tell us what you do besides the fact that like you know how to do funnels and stuff? He's a sales coach. Nicole, what are you up to these days? Tell us about your business. And Angela, I didn't have a chance to listen to your audio, so tell everybody here. Okay, so if you're jumping on now, when I first started this live stream, I was talking about the fact that the term client magnet is like extremely overused, and often when people use this term, they're talking about like the different sales strategies or the different marketing strategies to attract your ideal client to you. And I was just like, fuck, like that's so boring. And really, did you guys see the live stream I did last night? It's always the live streams that I am like being my full authentic self, where I am completely owning the fuck out of my gifts, out of the results that I have gotten myself, that I've gotten other people, and doing it in a loving way, like just exuding power, exuding confidence from a really centered, loving place, that I attract my clients to me, right? And I'm totally detached from the outcome. I'm not like, okay, today I'm going to be super like powerful and super this and super that. I'm just like, I am literally letting go of all the bullshit, all of the fear, all of the ego, and I'm going to show up with confidence. I'm going to show up and like own the fact that I worked with Jenna Kuchar, or whatever her name is, Danielle. And like showing up from that place is what makes people want to buy from you. There have been so many occasions where literally I launched something and it was like, I don't know, I just decided I was going to relaunch a program, do 3 live streams, and every live stream was so fucking vulnerable, powerful. Like I cried in some of them, and it's just like, I didn't even know what I was going to say. Obviously, I knew what the program was. I knew what the results were that people were going to get. I knew what some of the struggles and problems that these people were having were, so I could speak to those in the live streams. I really spent a lot of time like writing out what those were, so they were kind of like already like in my mind subconsciously, and I knew that I would speak about them when I got in the live stream. That's another element of confidence, is like really trusting yourself to get on a live stream without really any like plans or notes, and trusting that what's going to come out is going to be the perfect thing. I did take notes for this masterclass, but generally I was just like, fuck it. I know that these women need to hear about more than just fucking avatar exercises. They need to hear about how to become a magnetizing woman in their lives and in their businesses. That's how you're going to get results. It's like the foundation of the results. If this part is not there, if you're being like a scared, hiding little girl and not like staying true to your word and not showing up for yourself or for your business, like you're not going to get results. You're not going to earn $15,000. And you're just not. So every like external material result that you want starts in here. And so that's the work that I want to do with you guys to start out. So I thought it would be cool to do a little exercise where I ask you guys, what is it about me that attracted you here? Like, what was it about the live streams I did, the posts that I wrote, either for this challenge or in general, that have you here listening to this live stream? And I think that it's something that we don't normally consider, like, why am I here? But likely all of the reasons that you're about to list about why you were attracted to me are things that you want in your own life. And after we do this, I'll talk about how you can start doing that with your audience. So just take a little bit of time and think about it. Why are you here? What is it about me? I don't mean that I've earned like XYZ amount of money or whatever, but like feelings wise, like what is the feeling like that has you here? The feeling that drew you to me. So just type that out in the comments. Strength and confidence when you speak. I kept posting over and over again, and I still will. Authentic and bold, intense energy and passion. What else, you guys? I heard from Nicole, I heard from Dee. You make me feel like things are possible, even if I don't think they are. Fuck yeah. Okay. Who else? This is going to benefit you guys, because everything that you write is what you want to create and what we want your potential clients to feel and think about you. My logo. Vulnerability, putting yourself out there. Plus, it just seems like you enjoy what you do and make money. Yeah. Okay. Who else? Yoli, are you still watching? Tyne? Sana. I know it's probably, no, it's not late in Europe, is it? I thought I don't know the time anymore. Angela. All right. Well, think about the answers that you just wrote, guys. And if you're still thinking about it, send a message later or whatever. But have you been creating that in your content and for your people? And when you're on video, like, or has it even occurred to you, like, that is what I want to project? Like, that is how I want people to see me. Because I feel like, I don't know, just the funniest thing about this whole online marketing thing is, like, we get to choose exactly how people perceive us, treat us, buy from us, think about us. And you can take that in like a kind of sleazy marketing way. Like, there's certainly people that do it in a very calculated way. Or you can take it from a place of, like, I would say alignment. Let's sort of like the aligned version of this is that you actually become this person who exudes these things, embodies these things, because you want to be that kind of person in your own life. Like, you genuinely want to be vulnerable, put yourself out there, take risks, enjoy what you do, feel like anything's possible, even if you feel like it's not. Be bold, be authentic, be passionate. It's like, fuck yeah. I think everybody here on this live stream wants that. You don't want the calculated version. You want the embodiment version. And then you want to project that out into your content, out into your selling. So this is what I mean when I'm saying like all of this starts with you. And you guys are here and paid me money because you wanted that for yourself. And I have done so much fucking work to get to this point, and there's still so much work. It just never ends, right? But like vulnerability, for example, like that is something that I have stated and committed my intention to many times over since I've started my business, but more so recently because I've been going through hard shit. So my intention is I want to be vulnerable. I know that when I'm vulnerable and open up my heart to people, they will trust me, like me, want to buy from me, and support me. And I will create more of a community. So that's something, Danielle, that I've actually set the intention to create. Putting myself out there, obviously, like set the intention to create. I got this message from someone in my group that was like, Christy, I was so inspired that you launched this thing on Halloween. Like, it didn't really make sense from a marketing perspective. Well, she didn't say that. I said that. But like thinking about it later, I'm like, I guess it didn't really, but I just didn't give a fuck because it's like, this is a really awesome idea. It's going to help so many people. So many great things are going to come like after this. Like, I know I'm going to help people make shit tons of money and then offer something else and whatever that will also help them, that will also make more money. So it's cool. Like, I don't really care. Like, I'm detached from the outcome. So in the sense of putting myself out there, yes, that was my intention. And that's something that you guys have been feeling the energy of and thinking, damn, like, I want to just be able to put myself out there no matter what people think, no matter what time of day or if it's a holiday, and say exactly what I want to say. Like, that feels like freedom. That's what I want. And so again, that's why you guys are here. Enjoying what I do. I've had to really do a lot of work on that too. Like, I've had to constantly sit down and think about, like, do I actually want to fucking do this? Like, or is it out of fear? Or is it out of ego? Like, what do I want to do? And what do I need to do in my life? And you guys should think about this. Like, what do I need to do to get clarity on my passion, to get clarity on what I want to create next in my business? For me, this doesn't mean sitting down with a journal and just like, okay, what's next? What's going to make me this amount of money? This and that. Because I've done that. And like, I think we all want to do that from time to time. But the best ideas come when I'm creating the space for myself. So I'm spending time in nature. I am taking care of myself and getting my nails done. I need to do that because my nails are chipping. And that doesn't feel very abundant. I am spending time with friends. I'm doing things that I want to do for me in the process of living my life. And in the process of just like letting go of control, releasing, like literally the opening up of the space, like my creative space, and through meditation also, I get to find those ideas that are going to make me shit tons of money. And it's in that space that like your little intuitive guidance of what to sell or launch next is going to come through. Who was I telling this to? I heard this really good line. I was also in a Deepak Chopra book about how your intuitive guidance is kind of, it's kind of like when you forget somebody's name and you're like, God, I forget the name. And you give up because you're like frustrated and can't remember. And then 2 seconds later, you're like, oh, it's Sally, right? Those 2 seconds are the space. Like, that is the space where your intuition can come through. It's when you literally give up and detach from the outcome. You're like, fuck it, I'll remember some other time. Like, I'm going to go like on with what I was doing. That's when the intuitive guidance comes through, but it really requires releasing the anxiety and the attachment to the outcome. Like, I'm so not attached to the outcome of like this challenge. I'm just like, whatever, it's going to be so fun for me. And like, I want to do it too. And it's going to help these women. And I'm going to create something super cool, like probably in the middle of it that I also want to sell and make more money. Like and so that also requires like a great deal of faith and trust. And, like, those are all topics that I really am so excited to teach you guys because it's been so transformative in my life. And like, I'm a different human since I started doing this work. Okay, let me read some comments. Being fearless and owning the desire to accomplish your goals, no matter how other people feel. Absolutely. I'm here because you are talking to your desires. You haven't been reading my personal diary. That's also an intention that I've set. I want, in my content, I want people to feel like I understand deeply what they're going through, even if they've never verbalized it themselves. Like I want them to think, oh my God, how the fuck did she know that? Is there like a video camera in the corner of this room? When people feel like you so intimately and deeply understand them, when you like know all of the fears, all the weird little habits they have that like they're too afraid to even admit to themselves, like that's when they're going to be like, damn, this is my person. Like I need to buy from them. An example of this that I always give is like back when I first started out, I was coaching newbie entrepreneurs. I knew because I had done this back when I was starting out that like I would, instead of working on my business when I got home from my corporate job, I would just watch Netflix and drink wine and like avoid. And it was not something I ever said to anyone, but I realized like when I started to express all of these little quirks and nuances that someone in that position, aka my ideal client, was doing that they were afraid of and ashamed of, they were thinking, God, like Chrissy knows me better than I know myself. That's someone you want as a coach, right? So there is a little tidbit for you. Yoli, you know your shit. Yoli and I, we are partners in this leadership program, and she's just such a beautiful human. I just invited her in here. So Yoli is creating something really beautiful. She's creating a blog for, maybe you should tell them, Yoli, for people who, she's taking like beautiful photographs, and she's going to start a blog for people that have been molested, whose stories have never been told. And so I'm really excited to kind of help her promote this work that she's doing, because it's something that like she cares really deeply about. I care really deeply about. And so something that, now that I'm just thinking about it, that I realize has also created so much of the abundance, both financially and otherwise, in my life is like when you're giving to other people and you're really like living out the passion and the purpose that you know you have, rather than like your ego and your fears, like a version of your purpose. That's when like all of these new opportunities, like ways to create money, ways to create connection and love in your life are going to come about when you're leading with love or you're leading with fear and ego, because there's two different choices. It's one or the other at every moment of every day, at any time. And if you want to create income and cash and like all the clients and all the shit and attract these people, love is what's expansive. Like it's literally the physical embodiment of your heart opening. When you're leading from fear, like I just need enough money so I can be good enough so that I can finally say, like, launch a program that's like the 6K masterclass or whatever. It's like, that's like fear and ego bullshit that like no one actually gives a shit about anyway, because you know, you can always sense in people's content when it's coming from that place. And that's the literal like physical embodiment of closing off your heart. And of course, when you're closed off, like how the fuck are ideal clients going to come to you, be magnetized to you, if you're completely closed off, hiding, like being an ego, putting up walls, like not being vulnerable, not even sharing, let alone selling? You're not going to attract clients, guys. It's just not going to fucking happen. People can sense that. They can sense that something's missing. They can sense just that wall. So this is my invitation to you to drop the ego, to drop the fear, and just to lead from a place of like vulnerability, authenticity, and heart. And like, you really got to fucking trust so much to create the income you want to create. It requires trust and faith. It does not require, and will literally be crippled by, over controlling, your ego, trying too hard, anxiety, trying to look good. Nobody cares if you look good. Like, they just don't. Like, I don't fucking care. I don't care if I look good. I want to look good because it makes me feel that I've taken care of myself. But there's certainly a time where my marketing was very much driven by, like, I just want to look like super powerful and super strong, super successful. And it's like, okay, like that works. But then you attract more of that. You attract people who are more superficial and ego driven. And it's like not that fucking fun, because it becomes a mirror. So think about how you've been showing up and how it's mirroring the kind of results that you're getting in your business. Like if you're hiding, so I'm putting my curtain so you can see my face more. If you've been hiding, then probably you're not going to get clients because they can't fucking see you, right? So everything is a mirror. You're just my soulmate human. Aww. You're real, raw, give people permission to have fun, and show me that it doesn't need to be so boring and complicated. Yeah. So for you guys who responded, have you been writing about that in your content? Have you been saying, I am Sana, and I am raw, I am real, and you get to have some fucking fun in your life, in your business. It doesn't need to be complicated. And the caveat to that, and this is where we can get a little bit more like content strategy oriented, is that it's not enough to just say this. You have to embody it. You have to do it in your life and in your business. So what does it mean to be raw? What do you need to share in like about yourself that would be raw? What do you need to do for yourself to give yourself permission to have fun in business? Like, I don't know the answers to these questions, but if you want to like essentially show people that you are this person, to attract them with this energy, to make them think all these things about you, you've got to do the thing. Like, if you don't do it and it's just a concept in your head and you're like, yes, like I am a powerful coach and all my clients sign up and pay me in full. It's like, okay, well, you go like pay someone in full then. You embody that. You walk the walk. You want to be like vulnerable. Okay, then what do you need to release? Like, what do you need to talk about that you are feeling shame around? That's how you become vulnerable. Before you do the doing part, it's a concept and an idea, just like every other dream you ever had, just like 15K is right now for you. It's just an idea. So it's creating the $15,000 starts with creating like this version of yourself that you know is going to get the $15,000, because the version of you right now who signed up in the beginning of this challenge is not the version that's going to get $15,000. You took a step because you joined and you're like, this seems fucking nuts and scary as fuck, but here we go. First step. So many other steps, just one of many. So who do you need to be to create this $15,000? So let's start talking about that. Give me some comments in the comment feed. Who do you need to be? Who do you need to shift into to create your $15,000, right? And what does that person do on a daily basis? What does she do now that she gets to take care of now? Like for me, for example, I know that if I'm gonna make like some big fucking moves, like, and move towards my purpose, like I've always known that I'm supposed to impact millions of people. And it's like this little voice in my head. It's like intuition. It's like, yes, millions. And I'm like, are you sure that like I really mean that? Because everybody says that. And like everyone just wants to be like Tony Robbins and I don't want to be like everyone else. And it's like, no, really, millions. And I'm like, holy fuck. And so then because I literally will have conversations with like my higher self, with God, whatever you want to call it. And it's like, yes, millions. And in order to do that, you need to move to LA. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Like, why? What does that have to do with impacting millions? And it's just like, you don't need to know. Just fucking do it. So that's like, I would say that for me, like stepping into my purpose, stepping into the person that like, you know, earns the amount of money that I want to earn, she's trusting and she's loving, especially towards herself, and she acts without overthinking, and she's bold. So it's like, okay, what are the things I need to do in my life that are going to embody that? Move to California, launch something on Halloween that like, I don't know, is really fucking out there and like a little bit scary, because it's like, well, who can really earn $15,000? Like that's what fear says, in 15 days. And I'm not like, and this is the fucked up part, because my fear was like, you can do it, but can other people? And it's like, that is such bullshit. Fear. Of course they can. Of course they can. And in order for them to do that, it starts with me. It starts with myself, like doing the scary shit and opening up the container for people to create that. You need to be showing up and you need to be vulnerable. So Tyne, like something that you get to commit to, and I'm going to post like notes from that I wrote out earlier and some journaling. But I will ask each of you to commit to something that you're going to be embodying over the next, 15 days starting Wednesday. So if you need to be vulnerable, what do you need to say? What do you need to put out there and write about? And you need to like let the ego go. And like, how are you going to show up? Is it going to be a daily post? Like, what are you actually committed to? Right? And that's why I was like harping on you guys about, if you're actually committed to doing this, then do your fucking introduction video, don't do a post, and do whatever else I wrote in the pre-work. And it's like, you just get to be so true to your word in every single element of this journey. And because you get to trust yourself enough to be true to your word enough to fucking do a live stream video, you get to trust yourself that you're going to be true to your word of creating $15,000 in 15 days. Because I know that some of you right now are like, I don't really know if I can do it. It's like a little voice in the back of your head, and you're like, that sounds cool, and I'm just gonna see what I can learn from Christy, and like, we'll see how it goes. And it's like, it's actually like the reason why you're not gonna earn $15,000 in 15 days. So it requires this like intense fucking commitment and fire. And for you to constantly, every day, when your fear-based like shit pops up, to be like, thanks but no thanks, moving on, next. Here's what I'm actually committed to creating. I'm committed to showing up every day and vulnerably. I'm committed to selling every day. I'm committed to doing every single part of this process that Christy lines out for me. Because what I'm going to share with you is literally the exact fucking shit that you need to do to earn $15,000. Okay? So it's not like I'm here like being like, oh, I'm going to hold back on that shit. Like literally, this is me giving you this on a silver platter because that's what my higher self said to do. You want something else? Or you want something for yourself, you create it for other people. Like, I am literally so committed to helping each one of you make $16,000. Oh, $15,000. Ooh, maybe that was a Freudian slip. Maybe we should change this to 16,000. So, committed to trusting myself in the universe. Yeah. So, Nicole, for you, like, what is something, because committing to trusting, it's like sort of vague. So, what are things in your life right now that you are not trusting, that you are questioning, that seem to make no sense, but you feel drawn to? If you're committing to trusting them, what is it that you actually need to trust and act on? Because like a theme without like specific action is just a fucking concept, and concepts don't create $15,000. So like, think about it, everything that you're doing here, like think about practically, what does it mean to create this? What do you need to trust today and let go of today? And do instead of your control freak stuff. This is, I'm just assuming, because I totally do this all the time. Not calling you a control freak, but I feel like all of us are here in some ways because we're driven women. So what is that? What's the action step? Being public and putting yourself out there. Like, so again, like, what does that actually mean to put yourself out there? Like, are you going to post every day? Are you going to do so, like, on what platforms? Like, what does public mean? So to just get like so specific about this, because generalities don't, like I said, generalities don't create results. Specifics do. So tips on deciding to fully do this, but detaching from the outcome. Honestly, I would see it as a game. Like, that's how I see this. Like a really fucking cool game that's in service. It's like, shit, like it would be really sweet. Like, I'm going to go all in because this, and I would also not think about the money aspect of it. It's like, you guys, when you said all the reasons why you're here, like in this program with me or follow me in general, they were not things that were like, because Christy earned $15,000 that time in her 3rd month of business. It's like, no, because you're bold, authentic, powerful, vulnerable, right? And so in myself becoming this person, I create the result of money. But the reward is not the money. The reward is being the person that is committed enough to herself to create any result, not just income. So I would honestly start to think about this as like, this is not just about $15,000. It's a natural outcome of becoming the person that can create anything she wants in her life. So it's like, fuck, the reward for me is that I get to be this like insanely fucking committed, inspired, like passionate leader for my people, and trust myself enough to know that I will take the action every day, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it feels stupid, even when it feels like nobody's listening, even when I doubt my program, because I totally will. Like, that's natural. I doubted this program like 15 times, and every time I did that, I was like, I'm just gonna go to the beach, fuck it. Like, so that's kind of detaching. It's like, all right, I get to trust myself, and the reward is the process of becoming. The reward in anything is not the end result. How many times have you guys achieved something and it didn't fucking feel good? It felt good for 2.2 seconds and you're like, well, what next? Probably all of you, right? So the biggest lesson that I've ever learned in my whole life that I really just wish I had known earlier that I want to share with you is that it's not about the outcome. Absolutely, you'll be able to pay your bills and shit, yes, but are you dying right now? No. Are you on the streets? Are you hobo? No, you're not. You are a woman who is taking, like, has the resources to be in this program, to learn what you need to learn, to become the woman that creates any result in her life. That's the reward. So dive full into the process of being like, I'm going to literally challenge myself so much. Like, I'm committed to challenging everything I thought I knew, every belief I had about myself, about like how I don't really show up, or I'm scared and nervous, or I don't know if I could create that, or I don't know if I could sell something that's more expensive than a like $500 workshop. Like, all that gets to go. And this is a game in you becoming the next higher like version of yourself. And you're doing that through action. You're doing that through self-care. You're doing that through creating that, like, you guys are responsible, and not just me, for creating the energy of this challenge, of this container of women who are all pushing each other for the same thing. So you're going to literally get out of this whatever you create. If you want to fuck around and like kind of watch from the background, be prepared to get those kinds of results, and to be the kind of person in your life who just watches shit from the background and kind of half-asses things. Okay? That's what's going to happen. So watch how you're showing up here. Watch how you're like letting other people lead, but not you. Watch how you like kind of don't really do everything I give you in the homework, because that shows up in your business, right? So this is an opportunity for you to look at every single way that you act and that you show up here and otherwise in your audience, whatever, in your life. And you get to change that. You get to evolve into a new person and a new human. Like, how fucking cool is that? That's the challenge. That's the reward. And so then the $15,000 or any amount of income is the natural consequence of you sharing your gifts and being the most loving, authentic, like powerful, highest version of yourself and acting from that place. So yes, that was the answer to your question. And I was thinking about like actions that I've taken to really embody that. And for me, it hasn't just been moving to California, but it's been claiming my power in every relationship that I have right now, whether it's with like a guy that I'm talking to, where I literally had a conversation and I was like, listen, I'm not available for you to act this way towards me. So if you want a relationship with me, like you said you do, because there's this guy that wants to date me, and I'm just like, not ready right now, bro. But he's got a little bit in his head and like playing games. And I literally just laid it out for him. I'm like, look, I'm not fucking available. So if you ever want a hope of dating me, you're going to need to go work on yourself by yourself, because I'm not here to fix you. And I was like, damn, Christy, okay. Like, shoot, we're claiming power here. So it's just like, I'm so intentionally aware of everything in my life that is taking away power, and I'm bringing it back. That's part of how I'm becoming this person that creates like the epic money results that I want. It's like in every area of my life. And then how that might translate into money. It's like, maybe it's like saying no to an unaligned client, or perhaps saying yes to someone who I know needs to work with me, but who is too afraid and too scared right now. And I go after that and I claim it boldly. And I'm just like, hey, I believe in you. I know that you can create these results, and I want to be a part of that with you because I love you and because I care about you. And like, so I don't know, like that's just an example, but it's like being this person that can put herself out there, like you guys said, and do so without any like reservations about what people might think. Because it's like, I'm the person that gets to like state her standards, claim her power in every single area, including like when I say that my word is my commitment to creating $15,000 in 15 days, it applies there too. You need to trust and to let go. I'm freaking out. I'm posting too much, questioning myself, even though I get messages every day saying my shit's awesome, but nobody's buying. That's my intention for 15 days. I'm going to trust that when I set my intention to get the 15K, it's going to internalize and embody this shit we're learning here. Yeah, I also want to share with you guys, there's such an amazing app called Insight Timer, and I've been using it to meditate, but I found this meditation on it. It's actually like a hypnosis thing. So if you guys have this Insight Timer app, you can download it here. But it's by this like British dude called Glenn, what's his name? Glenn Harold. Looks like this. mindfulness for releasing anxiety. I shit you not, guys. Every time I listen to this, I'm just like a new human. I did this meditation before my live stream last night, and then like a bunch of you guys signed up, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I'm just like letting go of the shit, trusting. So I'll post this in the group for you guys, and just take a listen to it after this live stream before you get your day started and start doing work. Literally, it's going to help you create so much space for flow and for like aligned action rather than fear-based action. So Sana, I think that will help you. I know I can do it, and I have decided to, but get anxious when I stress about the outcomes. When I fail goals, I hate myself, and that self-hate and guilt is so intense that I'm scared. Holy shit. Yeah. Part of what I've been doing in my leadership program is that we are creating essentially, like, I would say a 4-month plan for ourselves. And it is literally the most detailed fucking plan I've ever made in my life for all the goals that I have, like business, life, relationships, otherwise. And it's not just like, list out your goals that you hope to achieve in 4 months. It's like, you get to list out every single fucking action step, by what time and what date they will be completed. And I have someone that I'm like constantly checking in with about each of my goals every single day and the actions I've taken to move towards that goal, those goals. And if I don't message them, they're like, well, why didn't you do that? Like, what was more important to you? And I was having this experience, Dee, where I was just like, oh my God, like what the actual fuck? Like I keep not doing what I say I'm gonna do. Like what's wrong with me? Like I'm just not a person that's committed enough, and like same shit of like so much like self-loathing. And what I realized actually was that it was me putting too much pressure on myself to do things quickly, because in my mind, like that's how I'm worthy. It's like, actually, I get to like reschedule the due dates of what I want to complete, and it's okay. It doesn't mean I'm not going to hit my goal or that I'll be less successful. It just means it might take more time than I thought, which is a lesson that I needed to learn, that perhaps you need to learn. Because it's like anything can be created once we see it in our minds, but are we giving ourselves enough grace to create it in the amount of time that's realistic, that's possible? Like we all want to believe that we're fucking superhuman and can do anything we want in 2.2 seconds. However, that's not sustainable. It's not healthy. And if you need to push back like a due date of something for the next, like, I don't know, the next day, no one's going to die. Like it's totally fine. So I would just like start to be aware of when you're doing this just in general in your life, like not even with creating this amount of money, but like if it's like you said you were going to do like one module by tomorrow at 3 p.m. and I don't know, like you had to go like watch houses all day or see houses all day because you need a place to fucking live. Like it's okay if you like pause and like I moved this the start date for this training back. I'm just like totally the same, like fear and anxiety came through. I'm like, oh my God, like I said I was gonna do it and I need to do it fast. I'm like, why? Like that makes no fucking sense. I'll just put it back till Wednesday, and then I have like the peace and the freedom over the weekend to look at these houses and really enjoy the process and get to know you guys, get the group warmed up, and create the trainings for the 15 days so that I'm not having to do it every single day and feel pressure like around that. So I'm like pre-creating things for you guys. And I get to do that in a way that's really easy. Like I can do it on my fucking phone when I'm just walking down the beach, which I think I'll do later. So that's my advice to you. It's like you get to renegotiate. Like it's good to have pressure and a timeline, but you can renegotiate within that. That's what I mean. You love the game perspective. Yeah, like take it seriously, but know that creating $15,000 is not going to mean that like you are like better or worse human being. This is about you evolving. Posting interviews, live video, publishing my website. Yeah, so I mean, it is vague because I didn't know that public meant posting interviews, live video. So those get to be your daily action steps of the person who creates the result that you want, is someone that posts daily, schedules interviews, whatever the action steps for those are, does live video. I don't know, is that daily? So like that's what I mean by more specific, like what kind of videos, like at what time, to who, what are they about? That's how specificity is going to create a result for you. And so maybe you're not like writing it out because you haven't thought about it yet, or maybe it's just that you wanted to keep it short for this live stream. But the more specific you are about what has to get done and how and by when and to who, the easier it's going to be for you to stay accountable to something. Because when something is vague, it's just like, oh yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be bold. But it's like, what does that actually look like? Well, for you, and talking to everyone now, it might look like, I'm going to totally own that time that like my launch failed. And I'm going to share the lesson that came from that and how I created success from that. So that might be like bold and vulnerable. So that, do you see how that's like way more specific? And it's going to be easy for you to be like, oh yes, I'm going to be more bold. And then you like go on about your day and you're like chilling with your kids, or like you're going to the gym, and it's like all of a sudden you're not really like thinking anymore about what it specifically means to be bold. So part of what I'm going to have you do, just as like some journaling from this masterclass, is like, who is it that you are committed to becoming? And what does that person do? What does she need to do? Like specifically, what is she doing? And what's so amazing about acting as this person is that then when you go in your content to write out, like, I am a powerful, vulnerable, loving, like leader, whatever. Like you saw, I wrote something like that yesterday. Then you walk your walk and people trust you. They are like, oh fuck, she actually is bold. She did move to California in 2 weeks, then break up with her ex. Like shit. She did launch a challenge called 15K in 15 days. Fuck, that is bold. So I'm walking my walk. These are specific things that, and I ask myself, like, what would be so just fucking out there and bold that I could do that would challenge me and scare me? If I'm not being challenged, if I'm not being scared, I'm not going to grow. And nobody is going to see me as a leader, because leaders are the people that step up and do the scary shit, that post the scary shit. This is a really cool metaphor I thought of this morning when I was thinking about the concept of a client magnet. It's like, technically magnets are polarizing, right? Like there's a north and a south pole. And leaders are the people that say polarizing shit, right? They're the people that are like, I don't actually believe in that shitty thing. I believe in this. I believe people should do this. And I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you don't believe in high ticket sales or money. I am so dedicated to helping women make money, provide for their families, blah, blah, blah. And like that, if you hate on that, like fuck you, basically. Or not fuck you, but like go over there, because it's not available for your weird shit. Polarizing. So what happens when you polarize and when you actually speak your mind, and when you like talk about what you believe in, even if you know not everyone's going to agree, it's like people are fucking like automatically magnetized to you. They're like, oh my God, like she's saying the thing that I thought no one would ever say, that I really want to say. So it's like they kind of all like step in line, like behind you, like, okay, cool. Like she's saying what I want to say, and I want to be that bold and whatever. So polarizing. So when you're creating that piece of content, because that's my challenge to you today, is like, think about who you want to be, what you need to do, like what actions you need to take to embody her, write a post about it, like really show people how you're walking your walk, and just like write that in a way that is a little bit scary for you, that is passionate, that's like, I am taking a stand for this. That all the energy that I just described about this piece of content is what is going to set you apart from all the people who do the exact same fucking thing that you do. Because if you think about it, really in any industry, like everybody's kind of saying the same shit. It's just the way that they say it and the energy that's given off and who they are as a person. So the more that you hold back on who you really are, what you believe, your life, your worries, your fears, your wins, like all the stuff that makes you you, like people are just not going to enroll in you. They don't give a shit about you because you're the exact same as everyone else, because everyone else, 99% of the world, is trying to be somebody that they're not. And it's not interesting, and it's not sellable. It's not marketable. So if you want people to enroll in you, you've got to really show them who you are, and you've got to do it with, that bold energy. So create that intention for yourself of, that's how I'm going to show up, because that's how you're going to stand out. Okay, live streaming, posting on Facebook daily, vulnerable about my struggles and fears of doing business my way instead of the way I wanted to. I have my commitment to putting myself out there and being vulnerable. Specifically, when it comes to being bold, I have a hard time with being specific. That's embodying bold. Well, for you, Danielle, I can already think of like what you shared with us, which is that you've been very successful and like, you know your shit. You've worked with these people and you haven't put it out there yet. So being bold might be the same, like the same coin, the opposite side of vulnerable, because vulnerability creates strength and power and boldness. It is bold to put yourself out there and be like, guys, I've been holding back on my gifts, on owning my shit, of how good I am at what I do and who I've worked with and the results that I've helped them create, out of fear. Like, I have been afraid to put myself out there. You would not believe the amount of engagement and comments and people messaging you that you are going to get when you own your fear, as well as these wins. So that would be bold, you know. That would get people thinking, and it's going to teach people how to think about you. That's this whole concept of attracting clients. Like, on one side of the concept, it's like you're teaching them that you are somebody that knows their shit, that works with other people, but that's also human, that also has fears and anxieties and worries just like the rest of us. And so you're a person that's going to be able to help others overcome that. And then people in their minds are like, check, Danielle, I like her. I can see myself in her. I want to be someone one day that works with people like that. So like, honestly, that would be an insanely profitable piece of content for you to write. Okay, been in a funk for the past 2 days, alone at home. Oh God, client canceled on me. Okay, with a client canceling, it's like, claim your power back with her. Why did she cancel? Is it a legit reason? And tell her that her canceling on you is like just going to reflect on her own business and life, and that's actually not okay, and that's not how you work. That's a place where you get to claim power back. You can be a mess and also be confident. I think my life has been a testament to that the last 3 weeks, right? Because again, confidence, boldness, strength is also created in vulnerability as much as it is your wins. So go write a post, a real post, stop marketing to people, start literally like becoming like this with people, engaging the real shit with people, and talk about how you've been alone for 2 days. And what are you going to do to get out of that? You need to get out of the house, like take yourself on a date to a museum or to get your nails done, or like things that you would normally never do alone. Then you get to write a post about that. Then you get to inspire people. Then people are going to see that you walk your walk. Okay, do you guys see a theme here? Like, if anything in your life that's making you feel funky, go do the thing that would embody the opposite of that, and then go make a post about it. Okay, like that's how you become confident and powerful, even when you're a hot mess. It's totally okay. Like, and I also knew, like, going through this breakup and this move, I knew that I was going to be a mess. And I also knew I have 2 options. 1, hide. Don't post anything. Don't show up. 2, be super vulnerable and share everything that's going on and share the fact that I'm a mess, because I know that it's going to enroll people in me. They're going to see me as human. They're going to see me as someone that they want to buy from, because everybody goes through that shit. But here we are sitting alone in our apartments thinking, oh, no one else could possibly ever feel like they're funk and have a client cancel on them. I promise you, happens to a lot of people. So go do the opposite of that. Okay, yeah, Danielle, you need to go make that post immediately. And fuck, like at the end of that post, promote something. And probably not your unaligned workshop. It's gonna be like one-on-one, like just for the shit of it. Like, it literally doesn't matter if somebody signs up with you or not. Like, this is not about that. This is the perfect embodiment and example of what I was talking about earlier. Is like, the goal of this workshop is becoming the person who shows up daily, creates money just by being herself, by being vulnerable and authentic, and being the person that sells. So you get to do that on day 1. All of you get to do that. And for you, Danielle, it's like, write that post and be like, guys, if you want to create XYZ result, whatever it is that you're selling, then like, I'm just putting it out there. I am so excited to help create this in other people's lives. Here's my link to apply for one-on-one. Let's go. And the more vulnerable and real you are in this piece of content, whether it's video or written, I would recommend both. Video, people can actually feel your heart. Come at it from heart. You're gonna get a lot of people that want to work with you, and you can start creating part of your 15K now. So let me try to write some of these action items down. Okay, who are you committed to being? And this is going to be the opposite. of how you've been showing up lately. What are the actions that this version of you takes daily and right now, today? And I really would love for you guys to do things that, like what I just described to Sana. If you're feeling funky, what is the opposite of like being in fear and hiding and funky? It would be like, I don't know, go wear like a unicorn suit down the street or something. Or do a live stream in a unicorn suit and sell a new program that you make up on the spot. Like literally the opposite of whatever you're feeling, the opposite of what you want to be doing, the most uncomfortable thing that you could possibly fucking do right now. That will literally wake you up. I'm just making shit up right now, but like that's what I was saying. This gets to be a fun game. Like this gets to be you like releasing all of these parts of yourself, the higher parts of yourself, the silly, the loving, the goofy, the inspired, the creative, the powerful, like all these things that you have been holding back on and hiding. That's what gets to come out. That is the version of you that creates the money. Okay. And then what else was the next one I wanted to say? The unicorn suit. If one of you guys actually does that, that'll be hilarious. Okay, and then go write a post claiming who you are, this version of you, and write about what you did. Like, what did you do today to embody that? And tell it in a story form. Because nobody likes to read posts where it's just like, I am super powerful. My clients always treat me so well. I'm paying them full, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, cool. Are you human? Like, does anyone give a shit? When we're human and we share all sides of ourselves, all emotions, all fears, all anxieties and worries, like all the things that you're avoiding telling people right now about how you're feeling, that's when you become a powerful leader. Because the scared little girls are not the ones that are going to say that. They're not the ones that are going to own that, and they're not going to be inspiring like in a genuine way, because they're the ones that are hiding back on what they believe is a fear or what they believe is weak, and therefore they can't help and they can't serve. Like people don't want to enroll with people who like they don't believe they can be like. And if you're not enrolling people in your program and selling, or even enrolling them in your free group, you're not helping them. So it literally serves nobody to hide these parts of you, because the sad, scared, weak parts of you are just as valuable as the strong, confident, like sexy, whatever parts of you that like people only want to show. So in helping people and giving service, that's when you receive. That's when you get lots of money coming back to you. Okay. All right. Go write a post claiming who you are, this version of you, and then write about what you did today to embody that. And and promote some shit. Because you're the person who does that. Yoli, I'm super critical about my weight, so I've been avoiding doing my own personal branding shoot. But always wish women would love themselves. This is making me want to do it more and address how mean we are. Girl, you get to go do that, and you get to even write a post today about how scared you are. Because I am going to bet that so many people who want to do a shoot with you are not doing a shoot with you because of the exact same reason. Because they're scared, they're self-conscious, and they're nervous. So in order for these people to sign up with you and see that it's actually okay, and it's beautiful, you have to lead by example. Go do that shoot for yourself, and then you write about it vulnerably. And then in those vulnerable posts, that's when you promote. That's when you sell. That's when people like read your stuff. They're like, oh my God, my heart's open. I felt that way. I can't believe she did that. That's so amazing. What a great leader. I want to do that. I want to feel that way. That's when they're going to buy from you. And that's when you're like, hey guys, I'm offering like a shoot for next week. Who wants in or whatever. That's the best way to market right now for you, I feel, intuitively. I've been listening to you. Yesterday I was scared of going live because I was self-conscious of my teeth. Depression fucked them up. So I went and talked about that. I declared on that live that if someone is so shallow as to hire a coach based on their teeth, then good riddance. Yeah, that's awesome. I would love to see you do a post like that where you make that the first line. Like I was scared that no one would hire me because I have bad teeth, because I was depressed and XYZ happened or whatever. But as I found, like, people like love me and see me for who I am when I'm most authentic, and I've gotten XYZ. Like, you just got a 5K client, didn't you? And it's like, that's pretty great. Like, you just started out like 2 months ago. You need to own the shit out of that. Go post it in other groups, on your page, on Instagram, wherever. But you get to own that. And like, I dare you to put up a picture that is uncomfortable for you, that shows your teeth. And that's the kind of post that's gonna go viral in any group. So, because I feel like you're mostly on Facebook groups, but that would be really good. Okay, guys, sweet. So your journaling for today is on there. This is a fucking great live stream. I think I'm gonna post this. Here's a really great example of intuitive guidance. Again, I don't care how many people sign up for the challenge. The only reason that I actually care, and this leads to a good point, because I forgot I was supposed to talk about this, but I've been mentoring somebody, Lizzie Jackson, just like I feel like I want to help her grow. And I also am at the point in my business where I want to start bringing on coaches to help me with the coaching. She's someone that I have been helping a lot. And so I asked her to be a part of this and to help keep everybody accountable and to give like guidance where she can and to just be involved in it. So I'm actually paying her a portion of every person who signed up for this program. And it's like, it feels like literally the most abundant thing to do when I make this program and its success, or like, you guys think about this. When I think about it in terms of like, I get to create income for people who need it. I get to mentor people who might not have otherwise had a chance. I get to like commit to other people's growth, and in doing so know that I create my own growth. So for me, it's like very motivating to know that I get to create this opportunity for her, and to have support like for me in keeping everybody accountable. This is totally not what I was going to talk about, but this is also important. The second thing is, intuitively, I feel like I'm going to post this live stream in my personal group and on my personal page because it's so fucking good. And also, in terms of promoting something, like if people see this live stream and they're like, oh my God, like that was really powerful. I had never thought of it that way. They feel the energy of this live stream, of the container of the group, and they're like, oh shit, I think I do need to do that. I was kind of on the fence, wasn't really sure, didn't really believe that I could make $15,000, too scared. And it's like, actually, they really feel most of all what it's all about. And that was just, as I was speaking a few minutes ago, before I got distracted by talking about Lizzie, was this little feeling of intuitive guidance that popped up. And it wasn't like me being like, oh my God, I have to like make sure that I promote and like launch so hard and do all these things in order to make it successful so I can make the most money. Like, no, it was just like, God, this feels really good to release all this, like this knowledge and this gift that I have for you guys. And oh shit, in not caring about the outcome, here's this like great little idea that popped up that I'm pretty sure my like gut's telling me right now, a lot of people are going to be enrolled by this because they're going to feel the love in it. They're going to feel the energy of it. They're going to feel it's possible for them. And I literally don't have to do any hard work. It's just like to speak and share my gifts and listen to when that little voice pops up of what should I do next? Post it. Whereas the fear-based version of me would be like, oh no, I can't possibly like release paid content for the people who haven't signed up. Like they don't deserve it. And like, I need to get paid for my work. And it's like, I will get paid for my work. Like I genuinely know that as truth. When I share more and I share the things that I know and that I need to put out there into the world, even if it makes no sense or whatever, that's when the magic will happen. So I'm going to be posting this in my group and everywhere that I deem fit. And I get to let go because today I'm going to go look at some houses in like approximately 30 minutes. And I'm so excited. I'm just like, I get to be so present in every single part of my day and everything that I'm doing in my life and in my business. And I get to take the action that I know in my gut is going to create part of the outcome that I want. And I get to trust it. And then I just get to let go. So that's the kind of like feeling I want to teach you guys to start following and to taking action on without doubting it, without worrying about like whether or not it creates an outcome for you, because you just know that you create the outcome by trusting yourself. Okay. Sana, you're gonna need to listen to that meditation. I'll just write it down for you guys right here. Insight Timer. And then his name was Glenn Harold. And the meditation is called like Releasing Anxiety. And it's free. And I think he even has his own app where you can download that and also listen to it for free. So literally it will completely shift you out of anxiety. I recommend that you guys listen to this meditation every single day as many times as you need to. It's about 20 minutes long. And it's going to create that space for you to take action and trust yourself. So that's it. I love you guys. And I will see you in the group. And then we start on Wednesday. So get ready to become the next version of yourself. It's going to be fucking awesome. I'm so excited. Love you guys. See you later.